What's up, everyone? It's a new year and I'm back at you with some updates to a template. And you all have loved my desk reservation template that I put out a year or so ago and have been using it a lot. I took some time over the holiday break to look at some of the comments and GitHub issues and addressed some of your top requests and issues with the application and the template. And I figured I'd make a video showing you what I've updated and give you a little quick run through of some of these changes and how to apply them. So stick around and I'll show you some of the updates. All right, now, first of all, let me start by showing you where you would get the updated application. So it's going to be here on my GitHub in the Power Apps repo, and I have a folder for Desk Reservation. So here in the solution folder, you'll see this desk booking 2023.msapp. So that's the file that you'll want to use if you want to take advantage of this template. Now, I tried to document to the best of my ability some of the ins and outs of how you get this template set up. It does rely on SharePoint list. So I did that just because it's an easy way to get started. Most people have access and the license for SharePoint. It can easily be adapted to Dataverse though, if you'd rather use that, if you think you're going to have quite a few different reservations and things in this solution, then you might want to actually use Dataverse instead because of delegation and all that, but that choice is up to you. This template is relying on SharePoint, so what I did here is documented the data sources used in the SharePoint list and the column names and whether they're required or not, that you'll need to set up. Now, I saw a lot of comments on the video, so first thing that I'll address here is issues in the template if you're seeing a bunch of errors. 99% of the time when I looked at those comments, the issues were related to the name of the column in SharePoint not matching the name of the column that the template expects in the different PowerFX formulas. So you'll want to make sure you pay attention when you're creating the columns in your underlying SharePoint list to not only whether it's uppercase or lowercase, but also if there are spaces in the name. So pay close attention to that because there are dependencies in the Power App, whether there's spaces or not spaces and whether certain things are capitalized and all of that. So I would just double check and make sure that what you see here matches. Now with that out of the way, let me talk through some of the updates. So in the edit mode, kind of hidden in the application, I put in a little release notes screen just so you could see a high level summary of what I did. Now the biggest issue that there was in some cases it was allowing double bookings, which obviously is not what we want for a desk booking or hoteling type application like we have here. So a big shout out to John and a few of the others that kind of helped me debug this issue and realize what it was and make a fix in the formula to accommodate for that. So that's one of the biggest changes here in the bug fixes optimization is I got rid of that double booking issue, so that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Now, one of the other common requests that we had in the application was related to when you select the object or the desk that you want to book. So if you haven't seen this application before, this is kind of the revamped desk booking screen. And what we have here are checkboxes. So by default, I did enable the ability to select multiple desks if you want to actually reserve multiple desks in a given time. So one question was, well, can we disable that and only allow the selection of one? So to accommodate for that request, let me show you quickly what I did here. So in your Power App, if you open it up here in the edit experience and we go to the App tab in the left-hand side in the tree view, we have this OnStart property. So what I did to make this customizable, if we kind of look at some of the PowerFX formulas going on here, and again, I tried to use some comments here to let you know what's going on. But I have this right here. So this comment says it controls if you can select multiple desks at a given time. So I'm simply using a Boolean global variable called var allow multiple desk selections. So the default value is true, but if you want to only allow a single desk selection, all you have to do in the template is change this value to false, save and republish your application, and then it will respect that and only allow one desk. So if I change this to false right now, and run that on start, it'll get that new global variable. And now if I look at this same screen, I select desk 1 and I try to select desk 2 and it won't let me. So I'd have to unselect desk 1, then I can select another desk. So I try to make it very easy to make this piece customizable. And speaking of making it customizable, another thing you might notice is the theme looks different. We have a dark mode going on here rather than the light mode that it was before. So if you reference some of the earlier screenshots of the application, you can get an idea for what it looked like. Now, I didn't switch this to just a dark mode. I made this another configurable option that you can have. So in that same app on start, you'll see I have this other variable called var theme, and I have it set to dark. So that's going to be the default, but you can change this to light with a capital L. And then all of the colors and things in the application will change to a light mode if I were to run this on start. So you can see that changes back to the classic look and feel that I had in the original version. So myself, I tend to like those dark mode themes, and I use those heavily. So I thought this was a nice little addition to the app just to give it some more customability. And along this same line of being able to customize it, since I did allow for that dark mode in addition to the light mode theme, I needed to make a few tweaks to this tab control that I'm using throughout the application. So this right here, if we look at the components tab, is actually a reusable component that I built here. So I've added in an additional property for font color and icon color here. So this allows us to pass into this tab control to dynamically change the icon and the font color depending on if you have a light or a dark mode or however you want to change those colors. So wherever you're using this on a screen, you could simply click on the component, and then on the properties panel on the right hand side, you can configure the icon or the font color here. And you can see I'm using a formula that's reading off of that global variable in this case to say if it's dark mode, we want that to be white. If it's light mode, we want it to be black. So you're welcome to customize this too if you need to. All right, another one that we had here is related to this Manage tab. So this was built into the template in the V2 update, I believe that I did, and it's giving you the ability to manage the desk or the things that you want to have booked directly in the application so that you don't have to go to the SharePoint list to do that. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, I don't want everyone that has access to the application to be able to manipulate and manage the desk, only certain people that are admins of this application. So I've actually built this capability into the template now so that we can restrict who can get to this Manage tab here. So let me show you quickly how to do this. This does involve creating one additional SharePoint list. So if we look at our data sources tab, you'll see that now in addition to the desk and the desk reservations that we had in the template all along, we have a desk admins list. This is a very simple SharePoint list with one column called title, and we're going to use that title column to store the email addresses of the people that you want to have access to that Manage tab to manipulate the desk. So I have myself in there now, but we can go to new and put in another email address, and the app can read this and then dynamically show or hide that tab. How we're doing that is, again, simply a global variable. So back in that app on start, you'll see we have this comment here that controls the visibility of the Manage tab. So it's simply going to read that list. It's going to get the current logged in user, and it's going to get their email and try to find that email in the admins list. If it doesn't exist, they won't have access to that Manage tab, but if it does find the current logged in user's email in there, they will have access. So that's all built in for you. You just have to add that one more list and fill it out with the people that you want to be admins. Now the other update is kind of a bigger one because it caused me to rearrange and change the screens a bit, and that's the ability to book on behalf. The original version of the application, if we went to new booking here, it would just get the current logged in user's information and assume that you're booking for yourself. Now, it came up that sometimes you might be booking on behalf of someone. So you might have someone that's an office admin and someone calls in and says they need to book a desk and they need to book it for someone. So we need that extra step in there to allow for that. So how I chose to accommodate this is like so. Let me walk through how the application looks now with this new feature added. If we go to new booking here, now we'll be taken to this intermediary screen where by default on the book for column here, it will default to the current logged in user. So if you do want to book something for yourself, there's no additional steps needed. However, if you do want to book for someone, you can click on this arrow here, and that will take you to a screen where you can search for other people. So again, it's defaulting to me, but I can clear that out and I could search for David, for example. Find him, select him there, click confirm, and then now I'm booking for him. And nothing else really changed. It's using the same screens as we had before to choose the date and the desk. We just have to click on the arrows now to get to the when, which is selecting the dates. So I might do something for the 11th here. I can select the time frame. Click continue. Now that will have this information here on the screen for me to confirm, and then now I can go back and book the desk. Another thing that you'll notice on the screen as well is we have a search capability. So if you have a lot of items in here, before you had to kind of do this endless scrolling. So now we have a simple search, so I can search for desk 4 and it will filter the list for me. So now I have all my information. I can click continue. It will give me this confirmation screen. And I can say either looks good or make changes if I need to change anything. And now that booking is there. A few other things that you'll notice look a little bit different. I revamped the landing page here to look a little bit better. It's going to show your top 2 most recent upcoming bookings. So I only have one here. You will see that now we have this little indicator whether it's booked or confirmed. So this is another new thing. If we go to the bookings tab, this is where you can see all of the bookings that you have. Now we have cancel, which has already been there to cancel a reservation, but we have a check-in. So this is another feature that was requested, the ability to check in to a particular reservation. So this can be customized however you want. I kept it simple for the template. So when we click check-in, it's simply going to show you the details about your reservation so that, say you were checking in to a receptionist, you could just show that information, they can validate it, and then you can check in and confirm. This could also be a QR code that is scanned as well if you wanted to integrate that in. Again, I just kept it simple for the sake of the template. But now if I check in, that updates the status. And you notice I can't check in again. And if I were to go to my home tab, now that changes to checked in so that I can have that easy to see status. All right, moving along. There's lots of new features, so I want to make sure that I tell you everything that I did here. The other thing that came up was in relation to the image. So one of the capabilities that we have here, if we say go into a new booking, now if we select one of these desks, we have the ability to click on it and see an image. So this would be, say, a floor plan image or maybe an image of what that desk looks like is the intention. Now, one improvement that I made to this, and something that you will need to change if you already have this deployed in your underlying SharePoint list, is back when I built this application a year or so ago, we didn't have support for the native image field in SharePoint. So we had to use a hyperlink column to be able to even display images. And that could be a little finicky depending on permissions and all of that. But now Power Apps supports the native image field in SharePoint. So I've updated the application to accommodate for that. So rather than using a hyperlink column, you can go into your SharePoint list, add a new column, that's an image column, and natively upload your image there. So that should work pretty well across devices. And with that new image column update on the Manage Desk screen, when you add a new item, it will look a little bit differently. So instead of pasting in a hyperlink, we have the image control built in. So I can simply click on that, point it to an image, and that will upload to that SharePoint list for us. So those are the big major updates to the template. I can make follow-up videos on some of these concepts as well, just kind of quick tip type tutorials on how I did some of these things in the app if you're interested. And of course, as you see, I do read all of your comments and your feedback, even if it takes me a little bit to get to it. So if you have any suggestions to improve the application, this template here, or if you run into any issues, please let me know. Probably the best way is by using GitHub. So here in GitHub, I have an issues tab in the Power Apps repo. So if you'd actually go here and add a new issue and let me know that it's related to the desk reservation template and be as specific as you can about what the issue is, I can take a look at it and see if I can help fix the issue. So I really hope that you find these templates helpful and that these updates that I keep bringing to the templates are helpful to you. I've gotten so many great stories from all kinds of people saying that they're using this in their business and that it's really helped them. So it makes me happy. It's exactly why I do this, to help as many people as possible. So please keep those comments coming. I love hearing about how you're using this template and customizing it to your needs. So go to that repo, download it, give it a try, and let me know what you think. And if you enjoy these templates that I give out for free and the content that I have on my channel, do me a big favor of support and hit that subscribe button or the thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And before you leave, check out some of these other videos where I walk through different templates that I built in Power Platform.